So we are back again with another video. Fanalyst TV here, and I've got a special guest today. His name is Thanda. He's a very, very huge Arsenal fan, and we're just going to speak today about the weekend and how everything went. We're going to speak a little bit about Arsenal. We're going to speak a little bit about Chelsea. We're going to speak a little bit about Liverpool, maybe even, and Van Dijk. But yeah, Thanda, man, to get things started off. How was your weekend, bro? How was your weekend?
Okay, wait. Actually, to start things off, I have a question for you. What do you think was the worst result? Arsenal loss or Chelsea draw? You got a point, but looking at the fixtures that we had, we were playing Man City away, you were playing Southampton at home. What was the worst result of the two?
For me, it was Chelsea because we never really expected Arsenal to beat Man City. That's the first thing. Like you guys have been getting beaten by Man City for I don't know how long. Second of all, we were up 2-0 and we conceded 2. We were up 3-2 and we conceded. So in a way, we were supposed to win the game, but we dropped points. So it's a bit disappointing.
And actually, I stopped watching the Chelsea game, I think, after the first half. Yeah, because I was like, okay, 2-0, they're going to go on to finish this. Like, there's no point in watching the remainder of the game, which is what I also did for the Tottenham game. Once it was 3-0, after the header, I was like, it's too easy. I'm shutting
Tottenham.
And guys.
Bruh, on Twitter, I was posting, bruh, gifs of Mourinho, bruh, doing that thing, doing that.
You were calling Mourinho the GOAT.
I was calling him the GOAT, bruh. I was like, yo, Mourinho about to resurrect this Tottenham side. Next thing you know, bruh, last 10 minutes. Hey.
Yeah, but in a way, it is a resurrection because at least on the positive side, they scored 9 goals in 2 games. That's very good. And didn't they score like 5 against Southampton as well? So like their goals 4 in the Premier League is actually very, very, very good.
Yeah, it's that Harry Kane Son combination, bro. It's too much. Harry Kane has elevated to another level.
Yeah, and Son, man, the finishing, it looks too easy for him. It looks too easy.
That's why I get so annoyed when Manchester United fans say that Rashford is better than Son. Bruh, that's just the most blasphemous statement I've ever heard.
I hate that.
But yeah.
Son looks like he went to the German finishing school.
Dude, it's insane.
That's what he looks like. He looks like he just came from Germany and he got polished off at Bayern Munich or something like that. It looks very, very easy for him. But yeah, okay, so let's get into it.
Let's talk about. Actually, do you want to start off with the positives or the negatives? Because I know there's a lot of questions that a lot of Arsenal fans were talking about, like about Arteta's, first of all, the decision making, the lineup didn't make sense. Playing Willian at false 9.
No, but remember when we spoke in the group, I was excited about that. I said I actually like the idea of Aubameyang, Pepe, Willian, and Saka all being in the lineup. I thought it would be pace, creativity. We know Saka can take players on. We know Pepe can take players on. So I thought actually it would go well. But oh my word, bro. It was dead. It was dead.
Bro, when I was watching that game, I thought literally the only player that I could see actually playing was Bukayo Saka. That's it. And maybe you could include David Luiz and Gabriel, who are also playing pretty well.
Yeah, no, that's the positive. So on the positive, I think it's Gabriel and then also Saka, because I was telling a friend the other day, would say, the one thing I want Saka to do now is to play like he belongs. I don't want him to look at himself like this teenager who's lucky to be here, happy to be here type of thing. Play like you belong. Feel like I should be the starter for Arsenal and I'm going to dominate this. Don't always be like, okay, no, I got to pass to the better player. I got to pass to Aubameyang. No, take players on, play your game. And that's what he did. I remember there's this one shot that he took. He probably should have passed, but the fact that he took the shot, it showed me that he's becoming he's becoming that type of player. He feels like he belongs. So I was happy about that. I was happy about Gabriel. Of course, he didn't start against Liverpool in the league. So with him starting against City and actually doing very well, I mean, at the end of the day, Aguero was muted. Of course, he's been out injured for so long. But Aguero,
Hey, what
again,
about that Aguero incident, hey, that everyone's been talking about?
or him grabbing the ref.
Grabbing the ref.
That, what was he thinking, dog?
I have no idea, bro. I think he lost his head, bro, somewhere. I don't know what he was trying to do, to be honest.
Because you know what I thought when he did that, right? I was like, the ref should dive, like the lady.
Bro, that's what I thought too. Like, I thought if she dropped or like did something, yes, that was just gonna be a straight red. Like,
yeah, I felt like she should just die. I'm like, get this man off.
If she was an Arsenal fan, maybe she would have.
But you see, now that's the issue. Like, I don't know. Could we look at it? Would say he only did that because she's a woman, or would he have done that if it was a man? I want to know what he actually says to her. I want to know what are the words as well. But of course, like, you should never put your hands on the ref, especially because the decision was against City.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, I had this discussion with someone on Twitter, and they said, the guy said to me, not that I disagree with you, but I want you to like explain further as to why you think this shouldn't be done, or why is it inappropriate just because it's a woman. And he said coaches and players do this stuff all the time. There was even pictures of Pogba, I think, holding the head of the one ref. I don't remember what game that was. He was holding the ref's head, and there was one where a player was holding like the ref, but like on his ass. So like, yeah, and those are the pictures that were circling around Twitter. So I was like, think about it this way, right? There's certain behaviors that you do amongst gents, and it's looked past or looked at as funny. For example, I made this example. I said, when a player or a coach, like when someone does something good and they're like trying to like say like well done, and they, for example, slap the player's ass, right?
Yeah.
A male coach slaps a male player's ass. Nobody looks at that as something wrong, right? Everybody's chilled because it's like, it's whatever. But do you think if a male coach had a female player and slapped that player's ass, or like a ref's ass, do you think that would be appropriate?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. I made that example, and I feel like a lot of people kind of understood where I was coming from, because it's easy to just say, oh no, it's inappropriate just because it's a woman, but you actually have to like explain and make an example. And for me, it was inappropriate. I thought he'd get at least minimum a yellow, but some people are saying red. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sometimes really just on the basis that it's on a woman, it's inappropriate.
Exactly.
And yeah, when I looked at it, I really felt like I wish she would dive, because I don't know how delicate or rough his touch was. I don't know what the words he said were. But the fact that it was a decision against City, it can be seen as deceit.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know. I assume it's probably going to be investigated because everyone's talking about it. Yeah. But also for me, I think the decision that should be made should also consider what she feels about it. I feel like she should come out and say, was I violated, or it's whatever. It happens. Maybe she feels like, no, I'm a lineswoman.
It's all right. It's not bad. Yeah.
Part of the game. Yeah, so I think they should absolutely take into regard how she feels about it. But I do think it was inappropriate.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay. So back to Arsenal. What do you think of Mikel Arteta so far? Because a lot of Arsenal fans right now are pretty happy with the way things have been going. The team has technically improved, and you guys now have Thomas Partey, who, although he played 8 minutes or 7 minutes of the last game, you guys still have him for the next game, and you guys have Gabriel, who is looking like probably signing of the season. Right now, for me, just based on form, he's the best centre-back in the league. Like, I I haven't seen anyone play so much better or place like so calmly, like at the back. He just literally made your defense better, like out of the blue.
Look, I think the game against City, it's two things that went wrong. Starting lineup, that's on Arteta, and then Hector Bellerin. The goal was his fault. You know, last week we spoke about who's this guy? Scholes coming out and saying Martial conned them into
Oh
thinking they have
yeah,
a
that he was a fraud, that
striker.
he's not a number 9.
Bellerin has been conning us for years and years and years. Because every season we get to a point where we're like, he's not good enough. And then somehow he just has a brilliant phase. And we're like, okay, no, you know what? Maybe it was the injury. Maybe it was the injury. He's getting back on form. He's back to the level he was on. And
Actually, I
then
remember you remember the one goal he scored against Chelsea, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh, he's back, he's back, he's back," and then like
uh,
2 games later, it was just back to normal.
was it 2-2, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that
It
was
was
at Stamford Bridge.
yeah,
Yes, you see, that's when we were like, yes, Bellerin is finally the player he's supposed to be. Then he had the long injury. And I remember, I think when rumors were in about him possibly going to PSG, everyone was like, yeah, it's time for him to go. And then I think the FA Cup happened, and we were like, maybe not. Maybe one more season. And he's been
yeah.
looking so far. And then now he's showed us again that, look, he's been conning us for all these years. So he's reason number one. And then reason number two, I remember we spoke about Thomas Partey, and you asked what's my expectation of him. And I said, he just mustn't be worse than Mohamed El Neni, because I don't want him to start based on his price tag. He has to be better than El Neni, because I think he's our best midfielder so far. And El Neni was on the bench. He didn't start. He started Xhaka. Don't ask me why. I have no comments on that man.
I mean, Xhaka played well though. He didn't have a bad game.
And,
He was better
and
than Ceballos. Ceballos was shocking.
yeah, Ceballos, oh my word.
I think that
Like,
was Ceballos' worst game. Like I've seen him play.
and you know what? Ceballos, I think he's tough, he's a tough enough character such that if you take him off at halftime, I don't think you kill his confidence or anything like that. I think he's a very confident player. If you take him off at halftime, it is what it is. You move on. I mean,
Yeah.
we would have had the Europa game coming up, so you could play him in that, get his confidence up again, and then you play him again in the league. But in that game, I think he should have been. Arteta should have seen it earlier. Then that, look, it's not working with Ceballos, and then I don't know, man.
I
Even
think maybe Arteta thought.
Willian,
I think maybe Arteta thought, oh, it's still 1-0, so things could still change around. It just because you guys had opportunities, especially in the last 10 minutes. You guys had, I think Saka had, Edison was on steroids, bruh. The way
bro,
he
that
was,
guy.
dude, he was blocking everything. Yo, I was like, there was this, I think the one right-footed shot by Saka, and it like hit
Yeah,
his shoulder, and he like came out, and I was like, whoa.
because we were
The
laughing at you.
goalkeepers we only dream of at Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were laughing at you because you were celebrating how good he is. We're like, yeah, look, we see good goalkeepers every weekend.
Dude.
So, like, yeah, like he was exceptional, of course. But yeah, I think Ceballos should have come off very quickly, bring on El Neni. I was surprised that Arteta went to a back four, though, for this game. And I think that we can transition into talking about Chelsea now, because remember last week I asked you, do you still believe in a back four?
I do believe in a back four, bro.
After
That's
that
all.
result, I'll ask you again, do you still believe in a back four?
Yes. I think I'll tell you why I still believe in the back four.
Sure.
Firstly, the best teams in the world all play back fours. If you look at the top teams in the Spanish league, the English Premier League, Germany, okay, France, I don't want to talk about because Farmers League, it's always PSG, and even Juventus, I don't really want to speak about because also they're always winning. But the most competitive leagues in the world, we see that the teams still play back fours. And I think it's part of how the defense holds each other accountable. If you think about a back five, there's so many scapegoats. Like there's three at the back, you guys are chilling. One guy, one of the three can get by with just doing nothing the whole time. But I think the problem is the game is slowly but surely eliminating central defensive midfielders. That's the problem. Every midfielder now wants to be an attacker, wants to be pushing up, or like there's no. You remember players like Michael Essien, Mikel, Michael
No.
Essien, John Obi Mikel, Patrick Vieira. Like those are the type of players where you don't really see them anymore. Like even players like who's this guy Nemanja Matic. Remember him at Chelsea and how good he was in that role.
Solid.
You don't need
Solid.
with a play like that, you don't need a back four. But because these players are starting to decrease, and even now, another reason why
You mean
Chelsea
you don't
still,
need a back five?
I mean, you don't need a back five, sorry, with players like that. But obviously now Matic he's not as good as he was. He's not as mobile as he was. But if you have a CDM like that, you really don't need a back five. And to top it off, a back five takes away an attacking option, which you would have. And I get it, bro. The back five right now is the in thing because think about it. The game has changed as well. The game has gotten a lot faster. The attackers are a lot more clinical, like throughout the entire league, not just at the top. So you get players like Danny Ings from Southampton scoring close to 20 goals. You get players like even Aubameyang, who his team was playing like trash, but he still managed to fight for top goal scorer. So you see like how even lower level teams, the attacks have changed, bro. And naturally, there's going to be more goals in the game. Like clean sheets are hard to come by. So
Okay.
I think a back five is still good, but I still believe that a back four can still work with the right defenders. It can work and with the right system.
Okay. The thing is, we've seen the like. Should I just think about this season alone or towards the end? I don't know if it's the no fans thing or what's going on. But we've seen now even the best teams in the world concede like a bunch of goals. I know Bayern Munich, they got defeated 4-1, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the second game or the first game. No, it
Oh,
wasn't
I
the
think it
first
was
game.
Hoffenheim, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second game of the league. Dortmund as well. They were beaten by Augsburg, which I think they were like bottom of the table the previous season. I think they might have put 3 past them. Liverpool conceded 7. Chelsea.
I mean, even City conceded 5. Hey, man.
Chelsea's Chelsea.
Hey, man. The number 3 is a curse. I think they need to
Yes,
just get rid of that
yes.
sponsorship.
Yeah,
They
there
need
you
to
go.
get rid of that sponsorship, man.
Yeah, City conceded 5, but okay, there were penalties in that game. But man, it just seems to be so high scoring. And remember, I think Man United, with that same defense from last season, apparently they were the 3rd best or 2nd best. I'm not sure what it is to what they are now. Like, I feel like a back five solves a lot of team solutions. Why don't you think it solves Chelsea's solution?
Okay, another thing that I want to mention is that at some point United were playing Fred as a
Solves
CTM,
Chelsea.
right?
Yeah.
They were playing Fred as a CDM, and then after lockdown they changed it up and started playing Matic. And Matic on his own, yes, he's good at holding the ball and like passing, but he's not as mobile as Fred. And Fred was one of their best players before lockdown, and their
Yeah.
defense was working well. So, hey, I'm not sure, but yeah. Moving on to the talking about the whole high scoring thing, I think another thing that's affecting that is the crowd. Because think about it, when your team is 1-0 up or 2-0 up, and you're at Stamford Bridge, for example, or at the Emirates, and the crowd is so happy and like everyone's like the game, you automatically dominate the game more. And I feel like now, without a crowd and without that supporters like influence, you notice how the game, like, it could go one way, and if the next team just decides, hey, let's change our mentality, it's so easy to just come back. Whereas if you are playing away, imagine you take a bus or a trip to like Stamford Bridge or Old Trafford, you 2-0 down in the first half, the game's done. Automatically, it's done. The crowd is also like out here screaming. Like, I think the mentality has changed now that there's no fans. Like, low key. I don't know how, but I think it has. Like, the game is a lot more competitive now.
Yeah, one thing I can talk on with that is that when a team is actually winning in the stadium and like the team starts passing the ball around, every pass starts getting celebrated. It's
Dude.
like,
yeah. Or maybe
oh
if your
yeah,
team is, yeah, sorry to cut you off, but maybe think about the Tottenham game.
yeah.
3-0 up in the first, what,
No,
20
no, no.
minutes. Think about
Okay.
this, right? Do you not think that if, who are they playing? Aston Villa, right? Yes, Aston Villa. West Ham or Aston Villa?
Tottenham was playing West Ham. The
West
3-3.
Ham. Yeah.
Yeah.
West Ham, sorry. Do you not think that a lot of the fans at halftime would have left anyway?
Okay. Wait. Now, here's the thing, right? I think this is the difference between Lampard and Jose Mourinho. Lampard let himself down in that game against Southampton. Mourinho was let down by his players because if you watch that Amazon documentary, I remember they were playing against Burnley and they were 2-0 up at halftime. They went into the change rooms and Jose said, "This is the Premier League. 2-0 at halftime doesn't mean the game is done. You can go out and it can be 2-2 or you lose 3-2." And what happened? They went back. Second half, the game finished 3-2. They won, but they conceded 2 goals. So I feel like Jose is aware of that, and he's probably been constantly drilling it into his players that you guys have to play 2 halves of football and not 1 half. I'm not sure Frank had that conversation with the Chelsea side at halftime.
Hey, dude, I don't want to talk about Frank Lampard because a lot of people are going to say, hey, I'm Lampard out. I'm blaming the hey, dude, I've had some major arguments and debates, bro, with people about Frank Lampard. And the problem is I could never get myself to be like Lampard out. It will never happen. If he gets fired, he gets fired. But I'll never be someone promoting Lampard out, especially because of his history at the club and because how many coaches have we had now, dude? This is like our 5th coach in like I don't know how many years. We sacked Mourinho. We sacked the Italian coach. What's his name again? I
Conte.
forgot. Conte, yeah. And dude, I think at this point you just have to give the guy time. Like you just have to like I want Lampard personally. I want Lampard to get another season. I don't think this season I expect Lampard to win a major trophy. If he does, hey, good for us. But I don't expect it, and I never expected it because it's a brand new team. Let's be honest. Six out of 11 players, actually 7 now that we have a new keeper. Out of the 11 players are all brand new, and they all just showed up like 2 weeks ago. So, but then at the same time, when I think, give this team to Pep, give this team to Ancelotti.
They play much better.
They're probably challenging for the league or winning the league at least. They're definitely winning something. There's no
this
way.
Season probably challenging for sure.
So it's frustrating whenever I think about that. But then at the same time, it's like Lampard is not helping himself. Like he's just making decisions which are just for me just insane. Like at times I'm like, what is this guy doing? And I'm telling you now, everyone watching this video right now or whenever you watch it, everyone trying to predict the lineup for tomorrow, I'm telling you, it's going to be nothing the way you predict. Nothing. We, as a Chelsea fan base, we know the starting lineup. It's obvious. We know it. And it's the front 4, Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Mount. Not Mount. Hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, Havertz. Sorry. And then obviously the back four with Zuma, Thiago Silva, and at left back Chilwell, whatever. I'm not going to admit, but everybody knows our strongest 11 besides Frank Lampard. I don't know how the man, bro. And I was thinking, oh, why didn't Thiago Silva play on this weekend? Because I thought maybe it's some quarantine thing, or maybe because he traveled late, because Brazil were playing that last game after all the international games. But then I saw players like Richarlison, Douglas Luiz, all playing. So I was like, why isn't this guy not playing? And then we played Christensen, who I really do not like as a player, and we will never win. We will never. Chelsea won't win a title with Christensen starting as a centre back for us. It's not going to happen.
Win a title with Kurt Zouma starting for you guys.
Honestly,
it's not happening.
We probably won't. But with someone like Thiago Silva, I can see it working better than what it has been in the past. At this point, our defense is like third bottom in the log, I think. With last season, we were like the worst defense.
Yeah, last season you conceded more than Arsenal, and everyone was calling our defense a bunch of clowns. So,
dude,
like,
literally, basically, David Luiz was doing better than whatever the hell our defense was doing. Dude, I don't know. But yeah, talking about Frank Lampard's decisions. So he starts Christensen when we have Tomori, who's actually a decent defender. Whenever he comes on, he does his job. He doesn't make much individual errors as much. Christensen rugby tackled a guy 2 weeks ago, but he gets a start. I don't know how.
It happens.
Bruh, it doesn't happen, bruh. It doesn't happen like that.
A rush of blood to the head, brother.
Okay, another decision.
And I think, wait. I think when the commentators were talking about that, it might have something to do with was it Mane, right? If Mane had gotten a touch on the ball or he hadn't gotten a touch on the ball, was the ball under his control or something? But there was some discussion on whether it should be a yellow or a red.
That was
so
red.
Maybe in his.
I'll tell you what, it would have been a yellow. Sorry, it would have been a yellow if he made a tactical foul. The problem is that he rugby tackled him. That's why he got it red. There's sometimes when you're in that position as a defender, you can choose to make the tactical foul and not make it look bad. Whereas he just went for the tackle and then it just looked like a red card. You can't red card someone.
Now you're probably not gonna bounce Mane with the shoulder. He's very strong. You gotta grab that man and pull him down.
Hey, I don't know, but okay, fine. I'm gonna leave Christensen out of it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you in the beginning of the game, you sent us a very exciting voice note. You were singing "It's Timo time."
It's Timo time, baby. Timo time. Werner is here.
But it was Zouma and Kepa time as well. So
I was Timo.
Yeah. So what happened in this game for Timo to be able to score a brace?
Back to Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard has been playing Werner on the wing.
Yeah.
For the first few games. I think he played the first game as striker and he won a penalty, actually. But yeah. So Werner has been playing on the left. Tammy Abraham has been playing in the middle. We all thought it's because, we're waiting for Pulisic to come back. So it makes sense to put Werner on the wing, right? And then but then you look at last game this weekend, Pulisic came back and he didn't play on the left. He played on the right, and they put Mount on the left. So they basically, imagine if this is how I thought about it, and I was like, this is actually insane, bruh. Imagine if Hazard was still in the team. Hazard plays that left wing position, right?
Yeah.
So imagine Hazard comes into the team, and guess what you do as a coach? You move Hazard to right wing to accommodate Mount, who's not even a winger. When we also have another winger on the bench. So we have two. We have two fully fit wingers. are being either played out of position or benched for Mount, who's not a winger. And people are going to think I hate on Mason Mount. I don't hate on Mason Mount. I hate the fact that Lampard is forcing him in the team. I was actually talking about how, hey, if there's no space, you don't. I promise you, tomorrow you might even see Mason Mount playing in the goals, bruh, ahead of Kepa at this point, just to make room for him, bruh. Or they're gonna play Ziyech at left wing back, bruh, just to play
Yeah.
Mount in there somewhere. Because, bruh, it's like, dude, it doesn't even make sense at this point, and it's affecting the team. It's affecting the team chemistry as well, and it's affecting Mason Mount's confidence because he looks lost. Yesterday, I don't remember seeing Mount do really anything in the game, and like he took him off, and like it just made him look bad. Like I don't know why, and he's a young player, and I feel like it's one thing trying to play someone who's ready to be starting game in game out, even though he's young. For example, there's players like Mbappe who are young, but they're so talented and the ability is there, and like they're not afraid of the big stage. So I understand playing those type of players, but Mason Mount is not ready to be playing week in week out for Chelsea Football Club, and especially not playing out of position. So it really doesn't make sense. But yeah, back to Werner. Werner finally played in the middle, and immediately we saw like this guy's amazing. Everybody's been talking on Twitter saying, "Oh, Werner hasn't scored. He's going to be the next Fernando Torres." All that.
According to this.
But dude, literally, and both of those goals were like world-class finishes, in my opinion. So I don't want to hear any more Timo Werner slander. Timo Werner is going to be what he is going to be, and that's just one of the best strikers in the league. I don't want to hear nobody comparing him to Tammy Abraham, comparing him to Anthony Martial. Nah.
Okay, slow down. So how is he going to be the best striker in the league when you yourself have only set a 20-goal target for him in all competitions?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, okay, it's fine. Like, obviously, there might be someone who's.
Give him a tough target. He's
Personally,
a striker.
I
He's
don't
the
want to put.
main. You know he's gonna start every single game because Lampard is very stubborn.
Actually,
He's
I
gonna
don't know
play.
that. I don't know that. Lampard
He's
is
gonna
not.
he's gonna play him until it works. So give him a tough target. You can't tell me 20
If
goals in all
Lampard
competitions.
was. If
Tell me how
Lampard
many
was.
goals is success for Timo Werner?
This is the thing. Lampard. Lampard
Give
at
me how many goals is success for Timo
15 for
Werner?
me, minimum 15.
15 league goals.
League, yeah.
Martial got 17.
Between 15 and 20 goals
Martial
for
got
me.
17 this season.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, and Martial was one of the best strikers in the league,
Oh, okay.
in
I'm
my
surprised
opinion.
you.
Martial, for me, I thought he was Manchester United's player of the season last season.
Probably, yeah.
Like if it wasn't for Bruno, he would have been miles ahead as player of the season. I don't want to talk about Rashford's goal tally because that's just it has penalty written all over it. So I don't want you talking about Marcus Rashford because I don't want to hear it. But yeah, I thought Martial was one of the top strikers in the league last season, and I think if he gets more opportunities, he's gonna score as many goals again. I think he's that good of a player. I just think sometimes United fans don't appreciate how good he is. But Timo Werner for me is definitely our main man. Like he's gonna be. That's him and Havertz is who we should build the team around. And now that Pulisic and Ziyech are back, the assists are going to be racking in. Even Werner's getting assists because the play is so fluid. Like all of them, you can tell the football intelligence is there. So I think the problem is whether or not Lampard chooses the right team. Because I feel like at this point, our team like has no chemistry because every week it's a different centre back pairing. Every week it's a different winger. Every week it's a different striker. Every week it's either Kovacic, one week it's Jorginho, one week it's Kante, one week at right back it's James, one week it's Azpilicueta. And that's the one thing I actually can say I like about Mourinho. Mourinho will back his starting 11 until the wheels fall off. Like literally, it's exactly like last game. Even I get that they drew 3-0, but if you watch that game, Harry Kane scored two goals and pretty much almost scored a hat trick. And they were 3-0 up for most of the game. But he played Harry Kane until the 90th minute. He's the same person that's always complaining about Harry Kane getting injured and protecting Harry Kane, but he still played Harry Kane for the whole game. And he's always going to stick to his best team. But Lampard hasn't learned that, and it's affecting the team because all these results keep racking up, and it's almost like the players don't believe they can win, and nobody's holding anyone accountable because it's like, oh well, what am I gonna say if this guy plays badly, and I say, hey dude, pick up your socks? He's still gonna play the next game, and I'm the one who's gonna be benched. So, like, it's almost like someone needs to take accountability, like in terms of the players, and say, guys, we need to do better. Like, we can't keep letting down the fan base like this, because at the end of the day, I can talk about how Lampard has been choosing the wrong starting lineup and all that, but bro, the individual mistakes that we make, it's just
Okay.
like, for example, that did you see that goal, the one where Zouma back passed to Kepa?
No, like I told you,
Oh
I
my
stopped
word, bro.
watching it. No,
Dude,
because I
oh
thought
my, the
the
most
game was done.
diabolical
But
goal I've ever seen, bro. Most
I did
shambolic thing I've
I
seen.
did yeah, I did see the highlights on Twitter of the one that you guys are calling the Kepa mistake. Yeah, I saw that one.
I didn't
That
even
that
think it
was
was a Kepa mistake, but it
it was
is.
it
It's half and
it
half.
is
Both of
it
them
is
have to
because
blame,
I think
are to
he
blame.
has two opportunities to actually get the ball there, and he should be going for the ball with his hands, but he's actually trying to go for it with his feet, and I think
Mate,
that's where it goes wrong.
if
So
he went
look,
for the ball with his hands, he would have caught it first before the player got to him.
yeah,
Even
okay,
if,
Musa. So
yeah,
I hear your complaints about Frank Lampard and Mason Mount, but the issue here is not midfield and attack. Your attacking seems to be good. You can score 3 goals. The issue is that you can also concede 3 goals. How do you fix the defense without speaking on Mason Mount? How do you fix that?
well, it's all back to Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is still playing Kepa right now. Nobody knows why. Why is he still playing Kepa? A lot of people are saying he's trying to boost his confidence. He's trying to boost his confidence. Bruh, boost his confidence.
What's his surname? Can you pronounce his surname?
Azra, yeah, I don't know. But dude, how are you boosting this guy's confidence against Southampton in the league? Boost his confidence against the Barnsley. Or like, I don't know, bruh. FA
Uh,
Cup.
that's not a confidence thing. The guy is terrible.
Personally, I would loan him out because there's no way of selling him. Nobody would buy
No,
him.
you don't even loan him out, bro. Just I don't pay him out or let him sit there on the bench for whatever. Like
It's a big loss, though. It's a big loss.
no club is taking that guy. I promise you. He has to go a division down to get a suitor for him. No Premier League side is taking Kepa.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. You asked me about the defense, and I just told you that's the first problem we have.
So Kepa's
Excuse
always
me.
gonna get one, right?
Kepa's only always, bro. It's funny how there's certain goals now that I know, like certain scenarios in the game, I know are gonna be a goal. Like it's like automatic. For example, that last free kick, that I don't even know who scored it. Was it who's that guy, the winger for Southampton? I'm not sure who scored that last goal. As soon as Reece James gave away that free kick in that position, I knew it's just gonna be a left-footed cross into the box. Someone is gonna hit it, and it's gonna be a ricochet, and it's gonna be a goal. The same thing happened, I think, against Chris, not Crystal Palace, Brighton. The exact same goal. There's such, as a keeper, sometimes you need to just be like, you need to have that attitude where you just like, you know what? I don't care what happens. This cross, I'm coming out for it. And I'm catching the ball. If I take an injury, if I break a leg, if anything happens, the only thing that's going to happen is me going for that ball. I'm not even going to leave it the chance for the defenders. Kepa does not have that bone in him where he's like, you know what? Even same thing with that goal. I'm going to go out for this ball. I don't care. It's either I get a red card or I get the ball. But this guy's not scoring. He doesn't have that. Like, his confidence is so beat up that he literally second guesses everything now. And, like, you can't have a keeper like that. You know, when you look at keepers like Neuer, who one-on-one, bearing down, a man will be bearing down, and you can see the mentality is there. I'm going for this ball. I'm closing this guy. I'm covering all angles. If anything, I'm taking him out, or like the goal isn't happening. It's not happening. And Kepa, it's like every time he sees a game situation like that, he's like, like, here we go again. I'm praying the defense saves me. I'm praying. And it never happens. It never happens. Like, I don't know what Frank Lampard has to do or what he has to do as a player, but someone has to be like Kepa at some point in the game. Don't even leave it to chance, bruh. Either take one for the team, but just make sure that the goal doesn't go in. I would personally rather, even that goal that he conceded, I would have rather Kepa gone for the ball and taken a card and maybe even a penalty or an indirect free kick than him doing what he did and then look at what happened. Same result anyway. And that just brings the whole confidence of the team down because at that point we were still winning. Now it's 2-2. Now anything is possible.
Okay, so if a new manager comes in, and let's say Mendy's still injured,
Mendy's apparently he's gonna be fine. I think it was like a 2-week injury.
Yeah. So essentially, what you're saying is there's always gonna be that one goal that's gonna come in through Kepa, at least.
At least. No, 0 clean sheets.
But then you have to look at your defense as well, brother.
That's another thing.
Those guys make it look easy. And here's my criticism of Zouma versus Christensen. Why I think Christensen is better than Zouma. You guys like Zouma because he's an athlete. But Zouma reminds me of Mustafi. He doesn't stay on his feet. Yes, he can recover with pace, but he doesn't stay on his feet. He wants to dive, and once he goes down, he looks so terrible. He looks like he's buckling once he's beaten and the man's on his knees. How many goals can you pull up where you find Zouma on his knees? He's always lying down on the ground and the guy scored. That's the thing.
To be honest with you, Zouma is a decent defender out of a bad bunch. I think a mistake that people think is that they think that we think Zouma is this great world-class defender. But no, it's because everyone else is so bad that they make him look good. And like, nothing has changed, bruh. We talked about how last season, I remember specifically saying, I don't care what Chelsea go and do in the transfer window. We just need to fix our defense. Yeah. We went and bought like 4 attacking players.
And you celebrated all of them.
And then we went and bought Thiago Silva. Who, although, yeah, he's a good defender, but dude, he's like 36.
36.
Bruh, I would have rather them have bought Gabriel or Upamecano or
Upamecano for sure.
Dude, yes, you would have paid a lot of money, but that would have been a long-term solution.
You get him for years.
Yeah. So now think about it this way. We're going to survive with Thiago Silva for maybe 1 or 2 seasons. And then the next season, it's back to square one again, where we're going to have to invest.
January, you have to strengthen. That's a fact.
Yeah, January, pretty much.
So, there's not.
As much as I can say, yeah, Lampard is making bad decisions, but our team is letting him down. And that is a bad combination because it's like, well, Lampard could always say, I tell these guys what to do, but they just don't do it. And then the players could say, well, Lampard, you don't even play our best starting 11. So what do you expect? So who's to blame in that scenario? Who's to blame? Because the problem with this season is that the games are so quick. Literally, we're already into what? Game week 4 now, game week 5. I think it's game
No.
week.
Let me see. Arsenal have won 3 and lost 2. So we're
Yeah,
going to game.
we're going to game week 6 already.
Yeah.
So, hey, dude, at this point, there's no
So
look at the Champions League and all these other competitions. Literally, it's one day, then you got to play again. So, at what point does the team improve and train?
okay. So speaking about games coming quick and fast, your next 2 fixtures are against Sevilla, and then you go and play the
Then we play
Onikana
Manchester.
Solskjaer, the Onikana Solskjaer freestylers. So I've always been teasing you about how I think we might have had a conversation of if Arsenal or Chelsea is going to finish above or something. And I said, look, I can't tell you at the end of the season, but I can at least tell you about the end, maybe of October. I said, doesn't matter if we lost to Liverpool, you guys are going to drop points against Man United because they're going to beat you, and then we're going to come and beat them. What are your predictions for the next 2 games? Sevilla and Man United. Might I remind you that Sevilla, I think they played, what is it, the Super Cup, the winner of Europa and UEFA.
Yeah,
And
against Bayern.
I think they basically drew that 1-1. It went to extra time, and I think Bayern won it in extra time. Yeah, so how are you feeling about that? Should I bet over 2.5 again?
Man, you know what I think? This is how I feel, bruh. I feel like we're going to score
Mm.
and then we're going to concede like 2 or 3. So, like, every time I go into a game, you always want to say your team is going to win. No matter the odds, you always want to say your team's going to win. But personally, I'm not going in. I know Sevilla is very good attacking wise.
Mm.
They always score goals.
For
So
sure.
they're going to come through and they're going to score. Manchester right now, as much as we can talk about how badly they've been doing, they just scored 4. They still have Bruno, Van de Beek, Pogba, Mata,
Oh,
Rashford,
wait,
and Cavani's coming back. So,
wait.
hey, dude.
Actually, something on Man United. Apparently, Maguire and Bailey are both injured. So
Oh,
tomorrow,
yeah.
Ali. Oh, it's about to
Oh,
get
yeah.
better.
Bruno's going to be captain, I think.
Tomorrow they might play Rowe and Lindelof,
Hey,
or even
against Mbappe. Oh, my
or
word.
even Phil Jones might come
Yeah.
in. I don't know what was that Champions League game where Phil Jones had the bandage. I think that's the last time he played.
I don't know,
But
but
that's
hey,
the
dude,
image I have
because
of.
even Neymar's coming back. So,
Yeah, like
oof.
oh my word. But you
Yeah,
know what I hate?
bruh.
What I hate about United is that they can always pull off a win against the big side. And I think that's why I think you guys are just going to be an easy opponent for them because Chelsea does not respect their opponents. Chelsea does not have good game management. Chelsea
Yeah.
will always concede. So man, as bad as they might be, I think you guys are going to be worse.
I don't personally. I would be happy with a draw against United. Honestly, this is me speaking. Honestly, no bias. Yes, I want to win, but I'd be happy with a draw because we always go into these type of games with our defense, and we always buckle at some point. Sevilla as well. I know Sevilla are going to score against us. If Thiago Silva isn't playing tomorrow, I don't think
Yeah.
we win. And if Thiago Silva isn't playing against United, I don't think we win. So
Are you at the point where you prefer a goalless draw because you feel like at least it reflects on the defense than a score draw?
yes, I'd rather that personally because our defense, dude. As much as it's nice seeing your team score, but going 2-0 up and then losing I'd rather just keep it 0-0. And then going 3-2 up in like the last like 5 minutes and then conceding. So yeah,
Bro,
I don't see Chelsea. To be honest, at this point, I'm struggling to see Chelsea finishing top 4 right now. I
Wait,
want to be
okay.
patient,
Wait,
but yeah,
let's go through all the Chelsea results. Your first game was Brighton,
he won 3-1.
3-1.
Terrible
And
game though. Terrible
Brighton
game.
lost that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we went to, was it Barnsley first, and then, well, we
In
beat
the league.
Barnsley 6-0.
Okay.
But oh no, sorry, Liverpool. I think it was Liverpool first, then Barnsley, not the other way around. But we lost to Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool
Remember,
was game.
red card.
Yeah, the red card, Christensen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we
It
West
was
Brom.
0-0 before the red. Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0-0 before the red. Okay, and then after the red, like it doesn't matter.
It was done. It was done. Then we went to, okay, Barnsley 6-0, obviously. Then we played, was it Tottenham first and then West Brom?
We talk about the league. Say it.
Oh, West Brom. West Brom.
Yes.
3-3. Once again, shambolic defending. And then we played Tottenham in the...
Yeah, you went 3-0 down.
Yeah.
And came back to make it 3.
And then now this.
So what? No.
Southampton. No, sorry, we played
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace and we won 4-0.
It was 0-0 at halftime. How was that first half?
I think we controlled the game. We controlled the whole game. It was a matter. It just needed one goal to open the floodgates.
Okay.
Yeah, you know how Crystal Palace always set up defensively, 4-4-2, I think.
So essentially, you guys have only had one good game this season. It was against Palace.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you guys? Yeah, going, because we're gonna finish up soon. But where do you see Arsenal, like, for the you guys? Who are you guys playing in the Europa? Are you playing
I
don't know that team. I actually never heard of it. But
on Thursday.
Yeah,
it's on Thursday.
I think you guys are gonna win that. I think you guys should win.
However, anyone who's into sports betting watching this, I think Arsenal are at 1.6 odds, so that's free money basically. So bet on Arsenal to win on Thursday.
Yeah, I think personally, you guys might possibly do a lot better than us because of your coach right now. He looks better, and Arsenal are always complaining about their team, but bro, you guys actually have a really good team. Like, if you think about it, it's like how I was talking about how all of a sudden Tottenham have front three, Bale, Kane, and Son, which is a world-class front three. You guys have Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang, which is, those three could start for most teams in the league.
But now here's the thing with Tottenham versus Arsenal. Tottenham, they've seen at least 2 out of 3 click. They've seen Son and Kane click. We haven't really had a period where Lacazette and Aubameyang were both exceptional, or Pepe and Aubameyang were both exceptional. It's only been over. Yeah. And even now, like, we don't even know. We're trying a false 9, we're chopping and changing. One thing we're sure about is Saka has to play, but Arteta also wants to play Aubameyang on the left. So
I think if Saka plays, Aubameyang should play in the middle.
Yeah, maybe
they can't coexist, because once Saka
will come into the middle, Saka goes into the left, and maybe Thomas Partey will come into the starting lineup.
All right, man. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time this season. Everybody's in it for the win. Nobody's laying down. But yeah, thank you so much, bro, for coming on. Looking forward to more debates, more conversations, man. But yeah, anyway, for everyone else watching,
let me confirm. So against Sevilla, how many are you conceding without Thiago Silva?
Well, it depends if Kepa plays or not. Kepa plays 2.
Same team.
2.
2's going in.
Yeah.
So Chelsea need to score at least.
For us to win a game, convincingly, we have to go 3 up. 2 is not enough. 2 is not enough. 1 is definitely not enough.
You know who that reminds me of?
Arsenal, Liverpool, before they had Van Dijk.
Unai Emery, boy.
Yeah.
Unai Emery. It has it all written all over it. Unai Emery.
Hey man, I'm praying. I'm giving Lampard time. Let him figure it out. But yeah.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
End of October.
Yeah. But everyone, thank you for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Look out for another video coming later on this week. But yeah, cheers. Wait, I'm gonna stop recording.